Let me be clear. The county tax assessor is the final determination of anything that has to do with assessment in this county. It has to have her seal of approval. The problem is that without the county tax assessor's support, it goes nowhere. The county tax assessor has the full charge of this topic. The county tax assessor would have to be in favor of doing this.
Eventually, potentially be able to do assessment and appraisal without, having to enter premises.
Issues, whether it be tax assessment or whatever happens to be the issue of the day. Tax assessment. The whole topic of a tax assessment, it can be a little controversial. And of course, a lot of elected officials don't want to touch it because most people, when they hear revaluations, they believe that their taxes are going to rise. Well, in reality, what happens is approximately 1/3 goes up, 1/3 goes down, 1/3 stays the same. The only thing that raises your taxes is governmental spending. And the proper assessment is just a methodology to spread that burden around. The formula is this: accurate assessments equals fairness in taxes. That's what we got to keep in mind. That's what it's about. Accurate assessments equals fairness in taxes. So assessments have got to be right. Right now, in order to do a revaluation, you have to have 3 attempts to get into the house. And that's pretty tough. That's pretty tough in this day and age. No one wants anyone coming into their home and looking around for sizes and so on and so forth. Tax assessment is an important topic. It's a continuing process. People think, well, we'll do a reval and that'll be it, and we'll forget about it for a while. But property values are constantly changing up and down and sideways. And in order to be fair, we need to have appropriate numbers. Now, to complicate this matter, there's only 2 now companies in the state of New Jersey that do revals. There's one in the north, there's one in the south. Now there's 566 towns or whatever it is in New Jersey. So you can just imagine that if you decided to do a revaluation in your community tomorrow, when you would get on the list. So it's time for county government to step up here. Like I say, it takes some guts to do it, because most people believe when a revaluation happens, my taxes are going to go up, and it becomes a political issue. So we're going to go look at the different counties and what they're doing. I'm very happy that we stopped the Gloucester County plan that was being shoved down our throats some years ago because of politics. And we stopped it. I spoke against it twice in Trenton. The reason why the Gloucester County plan was not a good plan is because it was full of patronage and bureaucratic. And as it turned out, 10 years later, they're not much better off than we are in all that expenditure of money. So we have to get accurate assessments. Now, many of us have been a council person in a town, and the numbers are staggering to do a reval. And most of the time, these things are kicked down the road. Well, we'll do it next year, or we'll do it the following year. That's what happens. For example, in Egg Harbor Township, to do a revaluation now is $2.2 million. So now you start adding this number up between 23 towns. Now, obviously, for a much smaller town, it's going to be a lot less. But you start adding these numbers up all across the county that the municipalities potentially have to pay. It's a staggering number. Right now, we have a kind of a backward system in New Jersey, in many of the counties. We're setting the tax rate, and then we have to refund. It's a clumsy system. Let me be clear. The county tax assessor is the final determination of anything that has to do with assessment in this county. It has to have her seal of approval. The problem is that without the county tax assessor's support, it goes nowhere. The county tax assessor has the full charge of this topic. The county tax assessor would have to be in favor of doing this. What we proposed basically was hiring maybe 7 people, 8 people total to do all the work and to be trained by the county tax assessor so that all of our people, all of our staff people, okay, all of our staff people would be on the same sheet of music, quite frankly, and would take their instructions from the county tax assessor and develop a process to go from neighborhood to neighborhood. And over a period of 5 years, we had hoped that we would be able to revow every town in Atlantic County.
I think as we're getting to this now, you want to start this up again. It's a great idea. This is one of those things I think the county can do across the county-wide better. There isn't one elected official I know in any town that will come and tell you how they want to do a revow in their town. They stall it.
Right.
And then when, like for this year example, we have county cuts taxes 3 cents. There's some communities, they're at 50 and 40%. Their taxes are going up on the county side. They're looking at us like we got 12 heads.
It's the equalized value.
Well, the equalized values that, so when you tell them that, they look at you like, the public looks at us like we're talking about spaceships, and they don't get it. It's got to be simplified better, and I think
Absolutely.
us taking the steps along the lines at the county level, implementing it, showing where there is a benefit, and it will take time to get into. You're not going to jump into this. It's going to be 2 or 3 year process once it's implemented in the
That's
towns
correct.
and how it's scheduled in their individual towns for us to do the assessments and stuff. But I think it's the right process. We're all doing the same thing here. So
I've seen the results of some of these companies, and quite frankly, they're horrible.
they're terrible.
In fact,
When you're
Linwood,
done, they don't do anything.
Linwood, they had to redo it.
Mhm.
The company that they hired to do the revow screwed it up so bad that they had to hire Diane Hesley to come in there and straighten the whole thing out. So that's
That was
why,
several years ago, right?
that's why I think it makes sense to have the county do it under the trained eye of the county tax administrator and hire the people to do all the measurements and,
There is ability to use the aerial maps,
oh, yes.
making sure the tax
Yes.
maps, using sale information,
Yes.
right? It's a math problem. That's really all it is. I mean, getting inside doesn't add much more value. And we've talked about trying to get to a place where can we get all the puzzle pieces together to solve the math problem at a county level, right? For the towns, then we don't even have to engage those 2 companies. We don't need them.
Correct.